Hello, beautiful people. We are back. I didn't think I would be back so soon. We're coming at you fast and furious this week after we had some time on the road. And I have a very special guest tonight who is actually joining us from the road. He took some time out of his very busy schedule to join us here on the Indulgent Hour. Let's see if I can do this correctly. There he is, Chef Bernard Bennett from Okàn Bluffton. How are you, man?
Hey, what's up?
Good to see you. You've been pretty busy lately, huh?
Yeah, man, I've been gallivanting, trying to get some new stuff for the restaurant and just, you know, gotta rest my wings too.
Yes, absolutely. You got to take the time in between. So I think when you and I spoke, it was like within the past week or two, because I had to go up north because I had a family wedding and I was getting involved in some SummerSlam shenanigans myself at MetLife Stadium. I was one of the
Oh yeah,
165,000 that were in attendance for the
for
largest
John Cena.
SummerSlam ever. Yeah, for John Cena's last. So I was
Oh
there
yeah.
Sunday night for John Cena's last SummerSlam match. It was incredible. But right around that same time, you were actually up north. You were up in New York City scouting. You were sending me some photos of some good stuff, man.
Oh
What
yeah,
you
yeah.
want to share in anything that you might have stumbled upon or anything interesting that you came across? Or you want to keep that in the keep that under wraps?
Well, the part of it I'll keep it under wraps, but
Sure.
the other part, it was in Seattle actually, and
That was before
at
that, right? Before New York, I think, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And Pike's Market and picking up some nice fish. I got some good specials about to come for the restaurant. Just doing some scouting and I love life and have a great opportunity to do something like this. So yeah, I'm trying to make it so we're a better restaurant.
You know, you know better than anyone. I'm a sucker for a good special, my man. So I'm
Oh
going to be
yeah,
keeping
oh
an eye
yeah.
out for that stuff. And we're gonna get into the food in just a minute here. And I did a lot of preparation for this. I've been over to the restaurant. Well, let's say probably about 3 or 4 times. I was actually
hmm
surprised when we were trying to do this a couple of weeks ago, and it just didn't work out. And I went and looked it up. You guys have been open for 2 years already.
Yeah, man.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
June
crazy how
22nd.
fast that 2 years went by?
Yeah, when it hit, like I was like we were sitting at I think we had just got done with a event and I was like, hey man, I think Saturday's our 2 year anniversary.
For real.
and
I
my
looked it up.
and my business partner.
I was about to say, like, I was like, because I don't have all my notes or whatever, but I was about to go into
Right.
it and be like, oh, you guys have been around for like a year. No, it's been almost 2 years already.
Yeah.
Summer
I looked at Matt.
2023.
Yeah, I looked at Matt and I was like, man, yeah, it's been 2 years. We got to do something. We didn't do
Incredible.
anything because it's just
Well,
we're
here's
working.
the thing, and we're gonna get to that. You can't say that you didn't do anything because you guys have been doing everything, and I want to circle back to that on kind of like the back end of this.
Okay.
But from my experience, I was super pumped about this because this whole Bridge Collective thing over by over in Old Town there was this brand new development. Obviously, you're the anchoring restaurant for that. I haven't
Right.
gotten around to brunch yet. It's at the top of my hit list, and I'm gonna get there. But my wife and I came 2 summers ago for dinner, and we were just immediately blown away. Not just by like starting off with just like the atmosphere and the decor in the restaurant, so bright and vibrant, so different, so nothing like that we had experienced before. The colorful cocktails. I'm gonna I have a whole folder full of stuff. I got some stuff loaded into the meeting here, but I also have a whole page because I want to do kind of like a little flash around to a couple of these things. I was looking at this blueberry cocktail that was like absolutely beautiful that I had there the first time. And what really has kind of, and when I get asked, people are in town and they're like, where should I go for dinner? And maybe they've experienced Bluffton before. And even though you've been here for 2 years, you're definitely newer. And,
Right.
Invariably my recommendation or one of my short list is Okan, because I'm a big like and it's funny. I was just scrolling through the your Facebook feed, with the emphasis on flavor. When we were doing the first season of the podcast, I came up with this notion of flavor innovator. And if all
Right.
the flavor innovators got together, Bernard, they would name you king of flavor innovators. Because let me tell
I
you,
appreciate that. I
and I
appreciate
want
it.
to say this, and Anders Graham, my friend over at Low Country Kitchen, he's going to appreciate this, because every time I go um, Etang, I indulge in that cucumber salad. And I just want
Yes.
to use the cucumber salad as an example. And every time I post about Etang, Anders is making a comment about the cucumber salad. But I say this like I'm using it as like as a term that's kind of like all encompassing, because yes, there are complex dishes that you have both in every single one of these categories. And I want to kind of bounce through them a little bit, but it can range from the simplest bread service, whether it's the cocoa bread, the hearth bread, the roti, from to something that's a lot more complex and in depth. But some of the things that just blow me away are what you and your team is creating with such simple ingredients, but with also creative things obviously mixed in there. I'm not a chef, but like the thing that I think I first fell in love with the first time that we went was the watermelon salad with the fresh
Yeah.
lump crab meat, which we got again this last time. Of course, I can't not get it if it's there. And the mushrooms have quickly gotten into that category. I'll never forget the first time I had the mushrooms, and I was asking Roderick, like, how does he do these mushrooms? And Roderick's like, oh, he soaks them in bean water before he fries them. So I'm going to pass the baton back over to you, to touch on like what these first couple of years has been, and what like where does this organically start with you coming out with such vibrant dishes that might have some simple ingredients, but the flavors are just make my head spin.
Well, first let me say Eating is one of my favorite restaurants for
Mine
sure.
too.
All of
Yeah.
them, all of them. The ones in Savannah. I first went to the one in Savannah. It reminds me so much of Chicago and New York Chinese food,
Right.
where they're unapologetically themselves. They don't care if you don't know what it is. We're gonna put it on here and we're gonna sell it. Not trying to really Americanize anything. Like they're
Correct.
giving you their flavors. I had something that just had too many Szechuan peppercorns in it, but I wouldn't change it.
Right.
Like they're doing their thing. So their cucumber, I get it all the time because it's
Okay.
literally so simple. Garlic cucumber, salt, probably some rice wine vinegar. I'm not sure their whole dish, but I have a suya cucumber dish on the menu, which is a thought,
There it is.
yeah, which is a
You brought
thought
it up.
process of that dish, and uh, uh, just flavor itself. That's the main thing for us at the restaurant. Like, we want you to enjoy every bite. We want you to feel like I missed something in that first bite. Let me get the second bite. Let me find another depth of flavor. If it doesn't taste like anything, then what are we doing?
Right.
Like, I want things to shine on their own for sure. You talk about the watermelon and crab. The watermelon and the crab are both shining. Uh, the crab, I'm just hitting it with some lemon juice and a little bit of green onion. The watermelon, we put a coconut vin and then some culantro, a little bit of Burberry spice salt, and that's it. And that's summer in a bowl to me. Um, and it works so well together. Um, and like, I mean, we are just fans of flavor, and we want you to um we want you to experience that. I really enjoy Bluffton, and this no slight to Bluffton whatsoever, but there's not a lot of flavor, and we're trying to bring that with some of the other really good restaurants as well.
You're bringing it in droves. We definitely have some really good additions to the scene recently. But again, I'm blown away. I want to throw up real quick these mushrooms. I mean, maybe not the prettiest
Oh
photograph
yeah.
you've ever seen, but let me tell you, folks, this coating on these mushrooms and this sauce what's the sauce that you have with it, Bernard?
So the one on the menu now is salsa roja.
Yes, that's
Um,
right. I had that this
the
last time. I think this is an older picture, I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the first sauce we put with it was a salsa verde. So still like peppers, like grilled peppers and onions and garlic, all blended together and then just made into a sauce. The mushrooms, I was looking for something for when I came up with a dish, I was looking for something for people to just be able to eat like fries, but I don't want to. We're not a fry place, you know,
right.
so I don't want to do fries. Uh, and I still want a health factor. That's why they're gluten free. That's why we're not using no egg or dairy on them. Um, and then I'm just like, oh, I had fried mushrooms before, but how can I make them to the next level? How can I make it so they're not soggy or like rubbery on the inside, And yeah, experimenting, came up with this dish, and yeah, I can't take it off the menu.
No, you can't. Please don't. Otherwise, you and I are gonna have a problem. You take these mushrooms off the menu. I'm gonna have to come pay you a visit. But seriously, I mean, I don't want to say that I'm a connoisseur of fried mushrooms. I eat mushrooms in all forms. I had when
Absolutely.
I was doing the video with Groobies that I dropped yesterday with Thomas Riley and Jada Riley Clark. When I was there getting that set up, I enjoyed some of their marinated mushrooms, which they use on their veggie wrap, and it was one of the best marinated mushrooms I've ever. I could live on mushrooms, olives, and cheese. That's just the Italian in me, I guess. But
Yeah,
and I listen. There are others that I like. Squat and Gobble's got some killer fried mushrooms, but these are very different. These are very unique. These are
right.
crispy. They're not greasy at all. There's
Mm-mm.
flavor in the breading. There's the flavor in this. I can't get enough of the sauce. I think one or two times that I was there, I might have asked for another little cup of the sauce because I literally I don't waste any single drop of that sauce that comes with
Oh, I
them.
appreciate that. I
And I
appreciate that.
I kind of buried the lead because one of the reasons why I adore eating at your place is because I'm the type of person where I would rather have like a bunch of different things. Now, granted, like I've gone to farm before and I've lost that battle where our eyes were a little bit too big for our stomach and we'll end up taking a couple of things home. But
Right.
and that's what I love about this. And I want to see if I can actually bring this up because I can come back to it later, but I think I can pull it up right from here. Okay, yeah, I got it right here. So I want to see if this is going to show up as big enough. Yeah, I think that'll probably be big enough for most people, depending on what they're looking at. The way that I love it is that you have it laid out in like even though you might not understand all the terms, but then you have the food glossary over on the side. For someone like,
Yeah.
let's say my mother, who might not like know what like a lot of these things are. I love that because you could always ask the server or ask the bartender, remember, what is this? But you're breaking it up into easy categories, and it's like if you like to eat like I like to eat, where you're going to say, okay, I'm going to do. I think the last time that Jocelyn and I were there, we only even did one main entree. We did the lamb ribs, which I'll show you a picture of in a second here. But I just love how you can kind of say, okay, what do I like from this section of the hearth? And this was a few iterations ago, but the pork shank, the curried goat, the lemon pepper chicken, and then you have of the land, of the sea, of the earth.
Right.
The tough part for me is that I have a hard time just getting past that first category. So I mentioned the bread with the jams and the stuff like that seasonally, which you change. The bread is outstanding. Whether it's the cocoa bread, which I had the very first time. I think I did the hearth bread this most recent time, and then this last time we had the crispy oysters. I think is what I'm showing here. Those
uh-huh.
were absolutely delicious. We had the bacalao fritters, which
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was just hit after hit after hit, and I just with the sauces, like I said, and the colors. Here's another one I want to show. This was the shrimp, the
Chilled
the
shrimp.
Yes, exactly. I mean, with this, like, was that like a mango sauce that you had on it?
Yeah, a mango habanero puree underneath it, and then some
Oh,
herb oil, a little bit of pickles on the side, or not pickles, escovitch veg on the side. Yeah, so
and I'm not gonna
I mean, I'm
lie. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm not gonna lie. I'm not only like looking at your as I'm ordering to educate myself on the terms that I don't know. I'm at the same time I'm also googling things like even though I've read what an escovitch was before. Sometimes I have to like remind myself. I'm just a big nerd. I
Right,
love
right.
all the food, but I also love to be learning as I'm going about what all these different things are. Sometimes I misremember and my wife corrects me, but I feel like it's like an
Yeah,
ongoing learning experience, and that's why I love going there.
and that's a big thing for us. I felt like the food, the whole point of the food glossary, or let me back up.
Yeah.
When I was coming up with the menu, our very first menu, man, when I tell you, I may have written the menu later, like, man, 15, 16 times,
Oh,
and
really?
like of the scared of the people, scared of what they were going to say, if they were going to accept us, you know. And then it was a talk with me and business partner Matt and Ben at the time. Like Matt's like, dude, what are you scared about? Do you? This is what I'm investing in you, not what these people want. Like you're giving them what they want, and that just gave me the confidence to say, oh yeah, like I'm gonna be myself. Why would I dumb these things down? Uh, for because people don't understand. Like we're gonna be that teaching instrument. We're gonna bring food that should be showcased in this area because of the history. We're gonna bring food that is flavorful. You can get, fried shrimp, fried oysters anywhere you look. You close your eyes and point in a
Correct.
direction and go get it. So
Right.
we try to, even our fried oysters are different. They're not a typical fried oyster that you're going to get. So we try to uh we try to keep it really we try to keep it different, and not like conform to what the rest of uh, Bluffton is. And
Right.
I mean we get a little heat for it sometimes. Like one of our very first comments uh person left was like, too many flavors. This isn't New York. Put something regular on the menu.
Too
Like
many flavors, what
too
they
many
said. Oh
flavors.
my goodness.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, we're doing the right thing.
Exactly. You're
That's
taking it the other way, which
yeah.
exactly, and that's exactly the way that you should. I mean, in my opinion, there's no such thing as too many flavors. But
I was blown away by that one. I was like, oh, okay, well that's something that's interesting.
that's
But
certainly
we
wild.
love, yeah, we love what we do. Uh we love being us. And I also get antsy. I can't have the same things. I can't serve you the same things for 2 years, 3 years, like just the same dishes. Like I get bored. Also, there's seasonality. There's stuff that comes in that is better. It can't have fried green
Yeah.
tomatoes all year round because fried green
Yeah.
tomatoes aren't good all year round. You know.
No. No, I
So
love how there's always the constantly changing.
yeah, yeah, and I mean we've been open 2 years. We've changed the menu 6 times so far. So I mean, 3 times a year. That's not, I don't think that's bad.
No, here's what's bad. It stresses me out because I can't necessarily go that frequently. So
Right, right.
I have the biggest FOMO, dining FOMO of anyone that I know because like I'll drive my wife nuts. I'll be like, this place has this. We got to get there this week, especially with all the socials and things like that.
Right.
I feel like sometimes if I don't take advantage of it when I can, and I can't be everywhere all the time, unfortunately. I want to show these lamb ribs real quick because that's what we finished off with at that last meal. We just ended up with the one entree with the lamb ribs with the jollof rice and the maduros. This was incredible. Like literally the meat was like falling off the bone. We talk about like a flavor party. I think you had some was it bok choy on that plate as well? Was that what was the
Uh,
green that was on
uh,
there?
seared leeks.
Leeks, that's right.
Yep,
Even
yep,
better,
yep, yep.
even better.
Mhm.
I was thinking about although as much as I love the bok choy at Etang, another sneaky good one is if you can get those snow pea shoots.
Yes,
Those
yes,
are
yes.
amazing. I have a friend back home in New Jersey who's Chinese who introduced me to them at one of those really authentic Chinese restaurants. And
Mhm.
don't get me wrong, I still love bok choy, but there's something about those pea shoots that are just
Mhm.
incredible.
Or Gailan. Gailan is pretty great too.
No, I haven't tried. See, this is why now I got to write this down. Let's table that. We'll circle back to the Gailon. I'm going to write it down so that I don't forget it myself. Gailon. All right, cool.
Mhm.
I just want to do like a couple quick hitter things real quick before we move on to the other stuff. But like, there's
Absolutely.
just a couple of the things that, and you might be able to identify it by sight. Just a couple of the things that we've gone through. I think this was one of the first or second times that we came. This was like a stew that you had going. Let me see if I could find it on here. It was one of those. Yeah, I feel like this was on one of the fall menus. I should have done these, got this a little bit more organized up front. But
Oh,
again,
you're good.
we'll just go rapid fire. We got those. We got
It just hasn't come up on my end yet. What
oh
was
no,
that
okay.
first one?
Here, I'll show it right now. This. Can you see that?
Uh-uh. Just describe it to me.
Okay, it's basically like it looks like almost like a soup, and it has what looks like kind of like pea shoots on it with mushrooms. There was definitely a meat that was in there.
Oh,
It was
okay, I can
kind
see
of
it.
like
I
a
can see it.
stew. You see it now?
Oh yeah, yeah. So this is the what's it called?
Looking here
Oh,
now.
this is our gumbo. Uh,
That's right. That's right.
yep, 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 yep.
Yes.
So gumbo for us, gumbo is a okra stew. So
Yes.
we don't do traditional gumbo like we know it here in America because gumbo with French influence has roux and all that. Gumbo means okra in African. So it's an
Oh, okay.
okra and tomato stew. We our first iteration had rabbit and um, oysters and shrimp all in there. This one was just the oysters and shrimp, and then whatever seasonal veg that we could put with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Um,
one of my favorite dishes. Always a fall dish. It's a warm hug for sure.
I'm a sucker for gumbo, whether it's, I mean, and there's some good ones. Hudson's is one that jumps to mind. But
Hmm.
this is a completely different, just like you said, this is completely different than any other gumbo that you're going to get. And you really just have to you have to go try these flavors yourself to understand where we're coming from. Let me kick that out of here, and I'll show just a couple other quick ones. We had this, which was the lobster. Oh my god! I think my wife with the
Oh, the
lobster with
cashew
the
curry.
saffron. Oh god, the cashew. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The cashew curry is has been on the menu since day one. Literally, we tweaked it for this past menu just to give the curry like a little darker tone.
Mm,
Added some monado and Burberry spice, paprika to the paste that we make. So it's just a little bit darker. But this dish came because there's all over the world. I want to say besides like Europe, uh, and I mean when I say besides Europe, I mean like uh, like standard Europeans, not like people imported to Europe. Everywhere else has like a curry, um, and so Africa has curries, and I'm a big fan of curry. And
yeah.
so thinking of putting a curry on the menu, and then but making it like a raw curry, so we don't cook any of the curry before you order the dish. The curry is not cooked. Um, it's dates, green onions, curry powder, coconut milk. There's a bunch of other stuff in there, and then we bring it up. Just we don't want to like completely like bubbling because I want the nutrition part of it to not be killed. And then
Right.
I mean, because we're fancy, we're just gonna throw lobster on top of it and
Well, because
some
why not?
right, 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 and some
Why not throw a
cashews.
beautiful lobster tail and some cashews on top?
Yeah, and that's
That's
one of my
incredible.
favorite dishes for sure.
My wife actually got that, but I was taking several bites of that. It was excellent. That night, I think I might have actually gone with the whole fish, which was just,
The
this was,
escovitch,
yeah, the
Jamaican
escovitch.
style escovitch, whole fried snapper. We get it in. We get our snapper in probably 2 to 3 times a week. We're gonna season it and then whole fry it. It's never gonna be greasy. We don't batter it. We don't, there's nothing like we season it ahead of time, but there's no like, no kind of crust. When it is the fish. We're bringing the fish to you, and then a little green seasoning on the side, escovitch veg, uh, charred lemon. Now, you can't go wrong with that.
Certainly can't. I ate every single possible bit of that I could of this fish, and I enjoyed every last bite. This was an experience.
I
This whole
love
fish.
I love going to a table and seeing just bones. Just
Yes,
like those cartoons where the cat just like sticks the fish bone
pull
in
it
and
right
it's
out.
clean. Yeah, it is clean. Man, so many times I go to a table like I can eat a fish. I can't even eat it like that. These guys.
Yeah, well, some people are impressive. They get every single little bit out of it. This
Mhm.
was incredible. There was let's see, there was, I think that was another one that incorporated lobster as well. And then we have my favorite here, which is, or one of my favorites, which is the don don noodles. I didn't get these the last time around. It didn't make the cut, but I've had them a couple of times, and they are spectacular. Um,
So the John John noodles are something that's close to my heart.
yeah,
Because it's a completely. I mean, all my dishes are completely made up. But this one, like I worked on, it has like a really like you can find escovitch at another restaurant. You're not gonna find John John noodles at another restaurant. You know,
not around
and
here. No, not
right.
anywhere near here.
Well, the John John noodles are supposed to represent Haiti, like all of Haiti, right? So John John mushrooms are Haitian mushrooms that are fermented, and then when you cook anything with them, they turn black. So we use John John mushrooms, then we add um, trumpet mushrooms and beach mushrooms. And then we're going to add rice noodles. So the rice noodles are to represent in 1860, I want to say, slavery was abolished in the Caribbean, but they still needed slaves, right? So they brought
Yeah,
over Indian and Asian indentured servants.
right.
So there's big populations of Indian and Asian people throughout the Caribbean as well. So the rice noodles are supposed to represent the Asians, and then some spinach, some green onions, and then finish with urfa chili oil, which is supposed to represent the Asian and Indians. So it's an ode to Haiti dish. And then I mean it's just made better if you add shrimp to it. You can add the goat to it. You can add the tofu. So I mean, you can go a whole bunch of different routes. But that's probably one of my favorite dishes on the menu.
Absolutely delicious. Urfa, for those of you who don't know, it says is a smoky, mildly spicy dried chili pepper from southern Turkey.
Hmm.
So we are dealing with some serious, serious spices here. The other one that I learned about for one of the other dishes was the bear, right? Is that how you
Oh
say
yeah,
that?
North
Which you
African Burberry.
Burberry,
Hmm.
red chili pepper, ginger, fenugreek. Am I saying that right? And
Yep,
other
yep, yep.
warm spices. This stuff is just incredible. Even something like I said, as simple as we had some okra.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the greetings
So
on one of the previous iterations.
people are always impressed with the okra because they've never experienced it not slimy. And so
Right,
we like hard char the okra to make sure that sliminess doesn't come out. And then
especially
we're
when
gonna
it's
finish it.
fried. Like, I
Yeah,
don't get me
yeah.
wrong, I love Cahill's, but that big bowl of fried okra, it's just the
Hmm.
texture becomes off-putting to me. It tastes great, but you said it's
Right.
hard to not, for it to not get that slimy texture, regardless of how you're preparing it. But you guys are able to accomplish it.
Yeah, it's a real like hard sear, high heat, and then we put the harissa on the bottom, and then some good oil, salt, and a little bit of sliced lime, and that's it. And it's
That's
just
what I'm saying.
letting,
Like,
again, it's letting the thing be the star.
right. Right. It's simple, but it's just the way that it's prepared. It reminds me of I forgot to mention it before when we were talking about that watermelon salad. It's
Hmm.
almost like between the watermelon and the crab and the lemon and the stuff that you use, it almost creates like this viscous sort of vinaigrette, which
Yeah,
it's hard to describe. It's the combination of like a mouthfeel and a flavor, and it's not
right,
like a punch in the mouth, but sometimes the best flavors are the ones that are just kind of mild and you're like, wow, what was that? We had an Italian
right.
restaurant back home where they had just a vinaigrette that they would put on their house salad, and my
Hmm.
wife was just like absolutely in love with it, and we found some similar things to that, and I'm sure for that dressing it's probably not that complicated. This was another one at the time. I want to say that this was like a corn and crab situation that we had with some chips for dipping. I think I feel
Oh,
like it was like a
oh,
sweet corn
oh,
and crab.
the corn pudding.
Oh
Um, so,
yes, I
so
just saw a post within the last week or two about corn pudding on your page. Is that right?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah. So the corn pudding we're doing now
Yes.
is slightly different. The first iteration that you had um, was a chilled corn pudding
Right.
with crab because I didn't want to cook the crab, but while for me one of the best dishes that we've created, it would throw people off because they expected it to be hot. You think corn pudding, everybody just expected it to be hot. So this iteration, when we brought it back, we aimed for more of a, a vegan dish um, that really accentuates corn. And on both dishes, this is what I mean by just flavor. We take corn, uh, we're gonna boil it until it's cooked, cut it off the stalk, boil it again, blend it, and then cook it down on itself. Nothing like only like a minute amount of salt. It's literally just corn, but the corn is so good and it thickens itself. Like you don't need more. You don't need anything else. I wanna accentuate the corn, and then we're just gonna accompany it with whatever we put on it. This version has chayote, squash, charred corn, a little bit of earth oil, and some greens. But that first one had the earth oil and the crab and
Here's the new one.
served with, yeah. So I mean,
How
it's
good does
it's
that
lit,
look? So this is
it's
warm.
just
This
corn.
one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This one is warm, but it's the essence of corn. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's not cream. It's vegan. It's a completely vegan dish. You're eating
Right.
all corn.
It says sweet meat silky, tangy meat smoky, golden
Hmm.
corn, creamy coconut milk, crisp pickled chayote. Is that how you say that? Chayote?
Yep, chayote. Hmm.
Chayote, smoky urfa oil. Our corn pudding is that just one more bite kind of dish.
You know
Indeed.
it.
And
You
then even
know
a
it.
little bit further down there, the cabbage yassa. Since I'm saying, like, I was making myself hungry just looking through some of this stuff before I got you on.
uh,
And I want to take a slight detour because I want to
detour.
return to and I want to kind of round this out with some of the various things that you have been doing that I think just kind of keeps things really exciting. And then I'll finish up and we'll do a little rapid fire with some sweets on the end. So we're going to return to the scene of the crime, and I'm going to give a shout out to my buddy Tanner Sutphin. So this was my first Okan food truck experience last summer. I think they had a double broker open house down in Old Town. There were two lots that were across the street from each other. One was what is now William Ravis. I think it was Bailey Patterson had one across the street, and then Tanner's. I think it was Ashley from Tanner's team had the lot across the street. So they brought in the truck, and I remember standing there looking at the menu at the time that was for the food truck, and I'm excited because as usual I'm going to try like 3 or 4 of these things, and
Right,
I'm
right.
standing there as I'm checking out what I'm going to get, and I ended up getting jerk skewers, which I got here. I ended up getting the Caribbean snapper slider, which I don't have. Actually, no, I can actually add that real quick here. I got the let's see, yeah, there we go. There's the sliders. We'll show everybody those real quick, and then I also had the the roti, which you want to describe for everybody what the roti is, Bernard?
So the roti is going to be Caribbean flatbread. Also in India, they do roti or chapati in that vein. But roti can either be made with atta flour or lentils. We make it with the atta flour. It's a little bit easier that way, but we make them from scratch. And then on the inside is going to be chickpeas that are cooked down with cumin and curry. That's what the chana is. And then we're going to add whatever protein you want, shrimp, chicken, goat, or you can just have it vegetarian, a little bit of green seasoning, some slaw, and yeah, that's the roti.
I feel like I went with the goat when I did that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I might have went with you.
A lot of people get the jerk goat, and that is it's a killer, man. The one thing, let me talk about the goat for a minute.
Yeah, go
Goat in
ahead, please.
general. I
Please.
was That was the one thing I was really scared about. I was like, man, I mean, goat is a representation. It's all through the Caribbean, Africa. People eat goat, and I'm just like, man, are people really going to eat goat down here? Man, we might go through two goats a week.
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, maybe not two goats, maybe like one and a half. But
Still,
we sell a
that's
lot of goat.
incredible.
We sell a lot of goat, and people love it.
Well, let me tell you, if it tastes anything like that roti that I had that day, I can't say that I would blame them for it because this was incredible. But just to circle back to the story, as I was sitting there saying, okay, what am I going to eat? I'm going to have some stuff here. I'm probably going to bring some stuff home. I feel a little bite on my ankle. I was standing on a fire ant hill. And I
Oh
say that,
yeah.
yeah. So let me tell you, that was my first fire ant experience as I stood here right next to the
Oh my
truck. And
God.
then, um, Louis sprung into action, and
Oh, we did. Yeah, we didn't know each other then.
no, we hadn't like been formally introduced. This is the first time that you and I met, and so
Yeah.
they took care of it. They whatever it was that they needed to do, and I'm like, the next day I'm walking the dog, and I'm like, what are these marks that are on my legs? And it took a while for that stuff to heal. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because the other day I went to out in the yard, and I had been away for a week doing some traveling myself. And when I got back, because of all the rain that we've had, there was a lot of mushrooms that had sprouted up like right outside my kitchen window. So
Uh,
I always think about years ago, The Rock had a small dog that ate a mushroom in his backyard and actually very sadly passed away. Dwayne Johnson's
oh.
dog. So I just was anytime I see mushrooms hanging around the yard, as much as I love mushrooms, I'm not going to eat those mushrooms, and I don't want my dog to eat them. So I'm kicking them over into the bushes. And one of them, like one of the caps, doesn't make it all the way to the bushes. So I do this sweeping kicking motion to finish kicking the mushroom into the bushes. And unbeknownst to me, I kicked over a fire ant hill. And I
Oh
feel
my
like a
goodness.
slight itch on my ankle and like a little bit of a sting. And I look down, Bernard, and my entire outside of my left ankle is covered in fire ants. This was Monday.
Holy crap.
So I had
Holy
an
crap.
unplanned trip to the because I cleaned it up real quick. I hosed them off. Some of them were still hanging on, even when I was spraying them with the hose.
Yeah.
I came inside. I washed it with soap and water. Then I was paranoid about the anthill, so now I'm boiling water because I don't have fire ant killer in the house. I'm boiling water. I'm putting soap in it to go dump on that, and then I'm washing it with soap and water. I'm following all these home remedy things to do. And I jumped in the shower just to figure like I'll wash it even more so. And when I got out of the shower, my lips started to feel like that they were getting swollen. I felt weird sensation in my ears. And I even
Oh.
started like to feel like my face started to blow up. So I ran over to the Okati Medical Pavilion over at the Express Care over there on Okati Center Boulevard, which is where my primary care doctor is and a couple other doctors that I see. And I had a full body reaction to the fire ants. I was broken out in hives from
Ooh.
head to toe. And I always think about this movie back when I was growing up with Martin Short. I think it was called Pure Luck or something. He gets stung by a bee and he's highly allergic, and they had him all like special, makeup and everything, like look all blown up. I
Yeah.
was lumped up, but I did put up a funny post. I was like, I feel like I look a little tough with this swollen face. So I put a couple of funny pictures of my mug up there, but I had to bust Tanner after that night because I was like, dude, those fire ants tore me apart. And now that I guess it was probably a good thing that that first experience happened over by the truck down there in Old Town, because, and again, it was this undeveloped lot that they were going to be building a new home on. So it was raised and it was just dirt. It was kind of like in transition. But now that I know that I'm highly allergic, I have to be one of these people that carries around an EpiPen. God forbid I get stung
Oh
by it
my
again.
goodness.
So
Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
it was crazy. So, but
You and fire ants. I mean, you're 0 for 2.
0 for 2. I am 0 for 2, and I'm telling you right now, there's not going to be a third. There's not going to be a third match. I'm not coming back around for round, because I got probably about 20 of these things on my ankle. It's an absolute mess. All right, we're going on about 40 minutes or so. I'm gonna wrap things up quick in the next couple of minutes here. But I
Okay.
just want to go through when we'll finish up with some sweets, like I said. But I just want to touch on the reason why I mentioned the truck is because what I love about what you're doing is not just restricted to the food, right? So we have the food truck. You were kind enough. You had the truck was on another thing when I was doing my food truck event with one of the real estate groups this summer. You still had the table set up there because obviously we were right there because we were right in Martin Family Park. So you have the ability to service multiple locations at once. And I've been looking at this, just these various different things that you have going on, at the restaurant on a regular basis. I mentioned brunch. I mentioned, well, no, I haven't mentioned yet. I wanted to get to it right now. You guys are starting to do this. Well, you've been for a couple of months now with the ice cream window, correct?
Yeah.
How's that working out so far?
So the menu or window, I love ice cream and I love making ice cream.
Right.
And so I had like a little ice cream machine that we would make, like I make all the ice creams in house. I make the desserts. And so I just really thought like, hey, when I moved down here, there was Ben and Jerry's, and then I want to say Joe's. I
Joe's,
think
yeah,
that's
a little further
I think
down May
that was the
River
name.
Road.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Joe's
yeah.
Ice Cream.
And both of them just went out at the same time, and I was like, oh, could whatever happened to Joe's would come back, but that never came back. And then
Never came back.
yeah, I was just like, well, I mean, we need ice cream. Like why not us? We can do it,
Well,
and the ice cream I didn't want to do like crazy flavors will come, but I want people to know that we can do regular flavors very well,
yes.
and so it's been pretty good so far. I mean, we got to do a better job of promoting it and really pushing it out there, but it's hard because like school and who we're gonna, we had kids work in the window, and then it's hard to like man it sometimes, but the love is there, and I want more people to come and experience our ice cream.
Yes. Well, like you said, if you have the setup and you have the ability to have that window, and if you
Hmm.
have the staff that you can that can support it, it's just another thing to be able to add, for you to be able to offer. I'm
Right.
going to throw that up here right now. I moved a couple things over from my phone on the fly here so that I could give the full this was from, I think this might have just been just from today, this post. Um, yeah, exactly. Yeah, 12 hours ago. The scoop at Okàn, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Sunday. So if you're walking around Old Town, hopefully you enjoyed some dinner at Okan. If you didn't, if you went to the Pearl or you went to any of these other places, or you're just hanging around and you're doing all these activities, or you're going to the farmer's market or any of this kind of stuff, stop by Okan and get a couple of scoops, because and I'm gonna show you the desserts in just a minute here as we wrap things up. But the
Yeah, and every ice cream I make it from scratch. We invested in a machine to make a gallon of ice cream, like to freeze a gallon of ice cream at a time. So it only takes us like once we got the base, it only takes us 30 minutes to spin it. So I mean, we make it. We love what we do.
Yeah, and these are some of the desserts. We had this one, which was like it was like some sort of like tempura. with one of your flavors there. Another one was when we were there during the summer. You had made like these popsicles. This was a sweet one. This one was
Oh
more
yeah.
chocolatey for one of our birthdays. We got a nice birthday message on there. So yeah, you got the ice cream. You've created these good looking popsicles. It's like a basically like a deconstructed popsicle. Here's another
Hmm.
one. This was one of the cakes that we enjoyed one of these times. I mean, just look at these desserts are, like you said, they're all homemade, and they're works of art, and incorporated in a lot of these is a lot of this homemade ice cream, which is just incredible. But just to close the loop on the other stuff of what I was saying, you got the ice cream truck, you got the food truck, you got the ice cream window. You have also been having some pretty, and I was going to joke around when we were hopping on late tonight. That's kind of like and I can't pull up a photo because that's a video on the timeline for you guys. But you did this. You're doing late night stuff with DJs where people can come and dance. You've even
Yeah.
had some live music and stuff like that to make a brunch a little bit more lively. Correct?
Yeah, yeah. So we started out doing music for brunch. We had like a really nice like 90s like uh boy band type like NSYNC whatnot brunch that we had a great turnout. Um, we do tiny bar concerts at the bar. Late night for me, I needed like some stimulation, you know.
Yeah,
Like when you're done with work, where do you go?
yeah.
You know.
There's
And
not a
so
ton
I
of
was like, well,
options around here for that.
right. And so I was like, well, why not here?
Yeah,
Come on in. And the DJ, it's a house party. I want to stress that. It's supposed to be a house party, not a club. The DJ's spinning, good drinks are flowing. We have just a few like late night bites, wings, yuca fries, goat sliders, elotes, something to keep you going. And it's a great time. Um, each and every Saturday. So we started thinking about it being every other Saturday, but I think every Saturday is good. And we've had a lot of people that are like, man, the kids are asleep, or we're without the kids this week. We just want to chill and dance a little bit, and it's great. It's great. It's been great.
I love it. You can grab a couple of these beautiful cocktails. This is that blueberry one that I was talking to you about before. You guys are always
Hmm.
cranking out some creative cocktails. I love that you have the late night bites for these house parties. I showed you one of the dishes from the brunch, which I can't wait to do. And you've had some really other cool stuff too. You did the summer wellness fest, right?
Yeah, wellness was great. Just really learning about the community and what is there, and any kind of problems you have. Like we in the industry don't really, focus on health or wealth. Like we're trying to, you know, do good for other people, and we don't really focus on ourselves. So having things like that at the restaurant, bringing awareness to those mental health as well as your physical health is very important.
A hundred
Especially for
percent.
me, I moved from Chicago. I'm thinking when I moved down here, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to just work out every day and get fit and do what I'm doing. And I mean my dreams came true, just not on the physical part. So it's still a work in progress. But I mean we have some great uh guests that join us that really support. Like, anytime I put up something about working out. uh, uh, I can't think of the lady's name right now. But she's amazing. She's dealing with some health things herself. Shout out to you if you're listening.
Yeah.
Um, uh, and she's been a big supporter. She'll just hit me up randomly on Instagram and be like, go. I know you got this. You got this. And that's what it's about. It's about building community, and we want to be a community pillar, and we really want to help everybody, not only with good food, but with whatever we're doing.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that because I think that's a lot of something that's overlooked of people that aren't familiar with this area. I mean, Bluffton is even very different than Hilton Head, which is what I was used to coming here since I was 10 years old. Bluffton, that we have that saying, Bluffton is a state of mind. And, these businesses, not just the restaurants, which is what I'm mostly involved with, and obviously I deal with a lot of real estate agents and businesses that are parallel to mortgage, but so I do a lot of my networking with that stuff. But there really is a true sense of community. And I love it when the restaurants and the establishments like yourselves are want to give back and want to be not just serving food and feeding the community and the locals and tourists alike, but also giving back to the community so that we can make this continue to try to strive to make it a better place. So
Absolutely.
yeah, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Prior to that, you had Juneteenth, which you did with Red Palm. Is that what it's called?
Yep, yep. Red Palm,
Yeah.
my guy, Chef Todd.
Yes. And is he
Todd
over in
is
Todd's from over in Savannah, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was at a restaurant called the Garage. He's doing his own thing now, trying to open Red Palm. Um,
Nice.
and man, he's one of the most amazing chefs that I've worked with, and we have become fast friends. Man, that's my brother. I'll do
I
anything for
was
that guy.
I was
He's
bummed that I had to
fantastic.
miss that one. I was because I think I feel like he might have done something with Flora and Fauna at one point too. I think,
I
if I
believe
remember
so.
correctly.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe he did a dinner with them. I mean, he's
yeah.
amazing. He is amazing.
I've seen some of his stuff. I haven't gotten a chance to try it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. From Chicago, so did you know of the Bro Shoes people before, like from your
Yeah.
past life? Yeah,
Yep,
because
yep, yep, yep.
that's another one of my favorites
Bro
with the
Shoes
stuff
is
that.
yeah, it's a really
Yeah,
good restaurant. And their restaurant they had in Chicago, I can't think of it off the top of my head.
yeah, me
But
neither.
I knew them a little bit before they came down here. And it's just it's funny. We did Star Chefs together. We were featured in Star Chefs and
Oh yeah,
went to
that's right. I remember
yeah,
that. I saw it on
went to
Facebook, I think,
Charleston,
Instagram.
and man, it was a good time talking, and just really thinking about Chicago and all the love and yeah, it's good. It's good. They're good guys.
I love Chicago. I remember the first time that I went there, I was like, they're power washing the streets. And I'm a kid who grew up 25 minutes outside of New York City. And
Uh-huh.
New York City was a little too overwhelming for me. I went to school at Boston College. Boston was a little bit more manageable, a little cozier, not necessarily easy to get around if you were driving a car, but if you were taking public transportation like me, it was easy to find your way around. But we had a couple of really fun experiences in Chicago because we had that holy war with Notre Dame. Boston College and
Oh
Notre
yeah.
Dame had a rivalry going for a while. So I actually went out there, I think, three times. I think we went like two or three times during school and then another one or two times after that. So we would spend the night like in Chicago and then we would go and, drive over to South Bend for the game. And I've been fortunate to get over there a couple of other times because All Elite Wrestling is kind of one of their tentpole cities because that's where their business is originally from. So I've been out there for a couple really great wrestling events with my brother. And of course, you know me, if I'm going anywhere, if I'm going to any major place like Chicago, I'm hunting out to find, where we're going to go eat. A lot of times those events are out by like Now Arena or formerly Sears Center or vice versa out in like,
Right.
Schallenberg or Hoffman Estates. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'm not venturing all the way into the city, but I'm still able to navigate and find my way around. One other quick one that you had recently that I don't want to forget about was the Brown Estate Wine Dinner. How did that go last week?
Man. Probably one of the best dinners we've executed. Everything came out as I wanted it to. I was trying to be really creative with everything and really exemplifying Brown Estate wine because we've done stuff with the wine before we opened, and their wine is so delicious. And then just to have Chris Gaither come out and be amazing, like that guy is awesome. And one of four black sommeliers in the country. So it's just great to to see that, to see somebody in that realm where you really don't think of, it's not always about race or anything, but you
Yeah,
want to see yourself in these places,
right.
and in the country, a country as big as ours and as big as the industry is, for there only to be four sommeliers that are African American is wild,
that's
But
mind blowing, quite frankly.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he's one of them, and he was amazing. He was amazing, and we couldn't have done a better job without him. But the food came out crazy. Some of the dishes I think might hit the menu.
Okay.
Just that's how good they were. But man, it was a great menu.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So yeah, so with the searching and foraging that you've been doing between Seattle and New York, I'm not going to divulge your current whereabouts right now. I'm sure you'll report to the audience over the next couple of days what you're bringing back from where you are right now. But let's close with that. So now that we've talked about all these different events and all these different things that you guys are doing to kind of keep things exciting and keep things lively down there in Old Town, what can everybody look forward to over the next, obviously we're winding down summer here, right? We're heading towards Labor Day,
Yeah.
and then we get into the fall season. We're going to start bringing back some fall flavors and some of that, comfort food and stuff like that. Not that we'll be quite a few months here before our temperatures start dropping, but you do start changing based on, like you said, what produce and stuff like that you have available, what's seasonal, what kind of events and what kind of things are on the horizon for Okan.
So we definitely have our tiny bars coming up. I think this next one is going to be a DJ tiny bar dedicated to Michael Jackson. So a little King of Pop action. I'm gonna make a menu based off of that, and then that's going to be every month as a tiny bar.
Oh,
And
cool.
then uh, the wine dinner went so well. We'll try to do a wine dinner once a month as well.
Nice.
So hopefully, the next wine is Minor Wines. The owner of that came in and he really, really loved everything. So I'm hoping that we can get that going. Really, some fall flavors for ice cream. Um, uh,
Nice.
a few fall dishes for the menu are going to come. We're just really trying to uh, perfect perfect our craft and really bring the people what they want. We're not doing anything for a cash grab. We're doing stuff because we want people to enjoy their time and we want people to have something to do. Have a reason to. We don't just want to be entertainers, but bring new people that haven't experienced us, and just be something more than just a restaurant. So look for more of that out of us this fall, for sure.
I love it. More to come from more than just a restaurant. There you go. That's your tagline right there. I love it, dude. You're
Absolutely.
constantly striving. You challenge yourself. You don't want to like get bored by doing the same stuff over and over again. But again, we're not just experimenting with flavors and ingredients. We're also experimenting with different events and different ideas and different concepts. And we got ice cream and we got wines and we got all this cool stuff. And then also, crossing over into doing events like that where you're celebrating, whether it's the Juneteenth or whether you're encouraging wellness and things like that. So I love it. It's a combination of, like you said, there's an entertainment aspect to it. There's an education to it, but
Yeah,
really it's just in, just trying to be as actively involved in not just the restaurant community, but the community overall. And I think that's why you guys have hit it off so well and why you become so popular so quickly. In addition to, let's be real, you got a really strong team over there.
absolutely,
I had a
absolutely.
great conversation with Roderick last time I was there. He was talking to me about his comedy endeavors and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
you got a hardworking, great crew that's got a great attitude and they're fun to be around and it's fun. I just love interacting with them while I'm eating
Yeah,
and bouncing questions off them and giving feedback and asking for this feedback and that, and it's just a lively, fun atmosphere. It's so cool.
and I can't do any of this without them. Like,
Yep.
of course I can cook. I'm not going to downplay that, but the rest of the guys got to be able to cook. The
Sure.
servers got to be able to serve. We got to be able to manage all that. And I can't do any of this without the fantastic team that we have. I love those guys, from the bottom of my heart, because every day I walk in it's a dream come true. This is my restaurant. This is what I've always dreamed about. And these guys, no matter if they're still with us or not, they've helped us become who we are. And I'll
Sure.
be forever grateful, and I will support any of them in any endeavor they got. Roger with the comedy, or whoever it is. So be it. We're here to give back to them as well. You know.
Absolutely. They all, like you said, they all help you get where you want. I'm glad that you followed the advice of your owner partner when he was telling you to just be yourself, because you being yourself has given us some of the most amazing, unique flavors and dining experiences that we've had, and yes, we've had a lot of new restaurants come around. I know it's a tough business, and there's a lot of competition, but the one thing that I can say is there's not another Okan. There is only one Okan, and no one's doing it like you guys are doing it over there with all the stuff that you're doing. We are at
I
exactly
appreciate that.
60 minutes. My pleasure.
That's
My
cool.
pleasure. And thank you for taking the time. I know you're busy. I know you're running around. I can't wait to see. Send me some more texts with some of the stuff that you're finding. You sent me some wild landscapes yesterday, which I was excited about. But you know me, Bernard. I want to see the food. So send me some shots of what you're eating and what you're gathering. And then when you get back, like I said, it's at the top of my list to get over there for brunch. And then also, I guarantee I'm going to be digging into some of that ice cream as you start coming out with more and more of these new flavors. So, dude, thank you
Please
so
do.
much for taking the time. This was so much fun. I'd love to do it again. And pretty
Absolutely.
soon, one of these days too, I want to come to the restaurant. We'll do some on-site content. Maybe we could set up when I'm doing some collabs with some of my real estate partners, a lot of people that want to do the kind of thing that I did the other day with Thomas and Jada. So we're going to start doing more of that on-site stuff. As much fun as this is, and I get to focus and learn and ask questions, and we can get the information out there. This is all about the food. So next time, hopefully,
Absolutely.
we'll put some stuff in, and we'll show everybody exactly how amazing these dishes are and the stuff that you're cranking out over there. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Bernard. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And I'm a big sports guy, man. Whatever, we can talk sports. We can do whatever it is.
Well, you said
It's been
you got to give the people what they want. I was going to say that's Jalen Rose, my guy, Jalen Rose. You got to give the people what they want.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give the people.
I'm always happy to talk sports. Look at it's all around me. I got sports
I
and
see.
pro
I
wrestling and
see. I
everything
see.
all
I see.
around me.
I'm a big.
So,
I was a big wrestling fan. I've not watched a lot of wrestling lately, but like The Rock and Shawn Michaels are my two favorite wrestlers of all time. So
two
huge wrestling fan.
of the absolute best. Yeah. And it's getting crazy what's going on with, between just this past week, UFC goes to Paramount. So now if you have a Paramount
Yep.
subscription, you're going to get all your UFC fights. WWE, which is currently doing their premium live events, they're going to all be housed on ESPN, which is crazy. And then I think ESPN just took over NFL Network and Red Zone too. So there's a lot of crazy. And football is here. I mean, it's August 13th. School has started here in the Low Country. So football is here. And that's just another thing that's going to drive, where people decide to go and everything, and what they decide to do dining wise. A lot of times revolves around what night the high school game is, what
Right.
Clemson's doing on, and what University of South Carolina is doing on Saturdays. And then of course, NFL will be back before you know it in just a few weeks. And food and football go hand in hand.
I ain't gonna tip our hand too soon, but watch out for sports from us. Watch out. You're gonna you're gonna be excited. It's gonna be exciting.
Really? So we got a little teaser there. My ears just peaked up. Okay. Okay. You have got my attention.
We'll talk off of here about that.
Okay. All right. We got to keep a couple things. We can't show all of our cards. You got to give
no.
And that's the beauty of wrestling is that you got to have some surprises. Right?
Absolutely. You got to pop out and hit somebody with a chair.
Exactly. You got to keep them guessing. Yes, Bernard, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Get home safe, and let's catch up soon when you get back.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys.
Have a great night. We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye.
All right. Thanks. Bye.